All right, welcome back. Kyle Parmley joins us to preview the Minor Purple Tigers. Kyle, welcome.
Glad to be here.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Minor. The Clay Chalkville Cougars beat them earlier in the season. It was the first game for Minor, the second for Clay Chalkville.
Yeah, Clay Chalkville really just kind of handled the game overall. They beat them 49-15, but yeah, it was Minor's first game of the season. But you know, some of our area got to see them towards the end of the regular season. They beat Pinson Valley, played really strong defense. They've got a lot of good athletes on offense, so they're a much different team than what Clay Chalkville saw early on. So
their first round game, they go up to Albertville, they go up to Sand Mountain, they get out to a big lead, and then things get interesting.
Yeah, they got outscored 21-0 in the fourth quarter of that game. Albertville scores a touchdown with 30 seconds to go. They've got to go for two to tie it. And they actually got it on the first try, but it get called back because of like an interference or something, and so they fail on the next play. But they turn around and get the onside kick and have one last shot to the end zone that fell incomplete, so Minor held on for a two-point victory, but a scare in the first round.
And last week, they do the unexpected, that no one expected. Yeah. They beat Muscle Shoals.
Yeah, this was setting up to be Clay Chalkville's big matchup. Undefeated Clay Chalkville, undefeated Muscle Shoals. And I'm not sure if Muscle Shoals just overlooked Minor or what, but Minor got out to a 13-point lead early. And Muscle Shoals brought it back to a tie game. They could have taken the lead, but their extra point after a touchdown was blocked. And Minor comes down with a 95-yard drive on the last drive of the game, and they cap it off. 40-yard Hail Mary pass with 5 seconds to go to win. Unbelievable finish in both games for Minor so far in the postseason.
So Minor, really, they're 8-4 on the year. They've got 4 losses to playoff teams, correct?
Yeah, they've only lost to Clay Chalkville, Walker, Gardendale, and Homewood. All 4 of those teams are playoff teams this year. And yeah, like you said, they started off 4-4. They've won 6 straight. And overall this year, they're 2-4 at home, but they're 6-0 on the road. But they're going to be at home against Clay Chalkville, where they've only won 2 out of 6 this year.
So they're a completely different team, really, from the beginning of the season. Looks like they're doing it a lot, running the ball and stopping the run on defense. What's the difference for this team from the beginning of the season to now?
Well, I've talked to head coach George Bates from them a couple times this season, and they've got one kid. His name's Jalen Adams, just an electric athlete, can do anything you want. Their only problem is they've only got one. And he plays running back, he plays receiver. They get him the ball however they can. But unfortunately, they don't have that quarterback that can win the game by himself. And they're really going to have to hope for more than just Adams to show up, because Adams himself is going to make life difficult for Clay Chalkville. But for Minor to be able to get there with Clay and possibly beat them, they're going to have more.
So it's going to be a tough matchup for them. My next question was going to be, how do they match up with Clay now versus earlier in the season? What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, much better matchup. Their Coach Bates told me, he was like, you know, after we got to 4-4, he was saying, well, let's get a 1-game winning streak, let's get a 2-game winning streak. Now they're up to 6, so a lot of momentum. They're really confident in themselves right now. They're playing well, but yeah, they are a really athletic football team, and we've seen that. You know, Clay's they're gonna have to stop somebody. They've struggled with that the last couple of weeks. They're gonna have to play some defense to beat this team.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you the big question: does Minor have another upset in them?
You know, I don't think so. We've talked about this before, how if you're gonna beat Clay Chalkville, you have to answer every single time you've got the football, and I don't think Minor has enough tools to do that. You know, I don't think they have that quarterback that you can look at in the huddle and say, all right, he's going to lead us and we're going to win this ball game. They've had 2 that have gone back and forth this year. So I actually think they'll give them a good game, but no, I don't think they've got enough to get over the hill.
All right, thank you so much. Kyle Parmley doing a great job again. Thank you, Kyle. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up. We'll have a Player of the Week from the Clay Chalkville Cougars, and we'll have a prediction for you on the game. We'll be back.